All right, it's another lovely time out on your Never Dull Moment program on radio. That is Ground Zero. Yes, you're welcome to the program Ground Zero, coming to you on Procyon Radio and Television in collaboration with Invicta FM for those listening to us via terrestrial. Ground Zero is a program where we pick up topical issues in the polity and, of course, with guests in-house, analysts in-house, and you, the listener and viewer from wherever you are watching or listening to us in the world, you can be a part of the program. Now, basically, the program is we'll tell you about what we want to talk about. We discuss and analyze it here. Then we open up our phone lines and also give you the opportunity of dropping your voice note on 0809 799 1989. You can also drop your voice note on our WhatsApp handle at 0809 4646206. For those that want to drop their comments in respect of what we are discussing, you can also use our handle on the various social media platforms. That's talking about YouTube, where you can watch us live now, Facebook, where you can also watch us live now, and of course, on X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and not forgetting Thread. These are all portals that we've opened and created for you to be able to add your voice to whatever we are discussing on the program. My name is Ehis Agbon. And with me in the studio today, I have a very, very large team of analysts and discussants with me that I'll be telling you about it. They are all experts and professionals that by the time you hear the quality of the stuff that's coming from them, you know that indeed, Nigeria, we have people that can help out. I'll start from my far left, where we have a gentleman. If you watch ProcyonRTV regularly, there's one man that's always there and a guest on the program, Trending. Trending is a program where we look at trending issues in Nigeria, and on the lighter mode, we discuss and analyze them. Trending, you can also watch Trending on Procyon Television. You can go to our YouTube page and download past editions of Trending. And to my far right, I have another gentleman. He is a movie maker, a producer, and a director in the Nigerian movie industry. A name that is not a stranger, that is not new in the industry. That's talking about, did I even introduce the name of my first guest? That's Kayode Onibiyo, the one that's popularly called NKO, Kayode Onibiyo Oranda. On Trending on Procyon Television, you'd always see him. And to my far left, I have Gabriel Okotie. And there's one gentleman too that I'm sure if you are also familiar with the movie industry, both Nigeria and internationally, you must have stumbled on some of his works. Gabriel Okotie, you are also welcome to Ground Zero.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And just to my left beside me is another gentleman. He's a media analyst, a broadcast journalist, and of course, a gentleman that's also vast in socio-political issues in and around Nigeria and globally, and also contributes to Procyon Radio and Truth Nigeria. I'm talking about Segun Onibiyo. You're welcome to Ground Zero.
It's a pleasure.
And just to my right-hand side, I have Mike Odeh Olunta. He is a constant decimal in, right here on Procyon Television and on Ground Zero. He is a journalist, a media analyst, and of course, a reporter also with Truth Nigeria and several other media outlets. Mike Odeh Akatu, you are welcome to Ground Zero.
Thanks. Viewers, listeners, you're welcome.
All right. Today on the program, we'll be looking at the off-cycle elections in Nigeria. When we talk about off-cycle, we are talking about those elections that don't happen when we are having our general elections. And the reason why we have off-cycle election is that because of some issues with some particular elections and some persons that were already sworn in were asked to quit their offices, and because the Constitution states that every person, every governor or chief executive elected into office must do a cycle of 4 years. So at whatever point that you were removed from office, you must run that cycle of 4 years. That's why we have some governorship elections happening as off cycle. Presently, the one that will be coming up soon is the governorship election in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi State. And the Independent National Electoral Commission has set Saturday, 11th of November, as the day that this off-cycle governorship elections will hold. And of course, all of these states have been able to do their screening, and INEC has also come out with a list of those that are qualified to be part of this election. Now, the list shows that all 18 political parties that are fielding candidates in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo State have Kogi with 17, with 8, I'll take that again. 18 political parties in Kogi State, 17 in Imo State, and 16 in Bayelsa State. The list also shows that 2 political parties are fielding female candidates in Bayelsa State, 1 in Kogi State, and none in Imo State. And the election is set and people are ready. And this particular list that is out is by INEC, and it was released around on the 7th of, until the 6th of June this year. All right, now looking at the list that we have here, it's quite large and all of that for Imo, for Bayelsa, and for Kogi. For the purpose of today's election, we'll talk more about Kogi election, not after we have generally looked at the off-cycle election and the present and imminent threat to the election, which is violence or electoral violence. The electoral umpires have come out to complain about this. Also, some of the political parties have also talked about it. And the media reports that we are getting from these states also shows that there may be the possibility of that if what the government should do is not done and when it should be done. So, gentlemen, we'll basically just look at this, starting from my immediate right. Michael, the Akatu, off-cycle election, how does it buzz with you?
Okay, these are elections that are conducted after the general elections. What I mean after the general elections, these are elections that are coming immediately after the presidential election and the governorship election. Some of this, why these off-cycle elections actually even came to being was some of these people actually had elections before with the other states, but they went to court. And their tenure, I mean, some of them, the incumbents were removed, and new ones were sworn in, and they went to court, and the court said their dates of, their date of the date that they will assume office commences the day they were sworn in. So we have almost we have Edo, we have Bayelsa, we have Kogi, we have Ondo, Oshun. So we have about 5 to 6
Anambra
that have. I'm sure it was Anambra that led the pack, or Edo. We have 5 states that off-peak elections or
off-cycle
elections will take place. Now, these off-cycle elections, no matter how you see it, is also a determinant of what will come to pass. Number one, it is a judgment on the incumbent president, and also a determinant of what may happen. Like I remember especially, I'm sure Ekiti also is amongst, especially in Ekiti and in Oshun, the winner of those 2 states, the party that wins those 2 states, may reflect on which party becomes the ruling party at the center. So the presidency makes sure that they look at that off-cycle elections very well. It also shows that if the populace, the electorate, are not really happy with the incumbent, with the ruling party, it will reflect in that election. You see that perhaps if it's the PDP that is ruling and Edo is having an election, you see that the Edo people may not likely vote PDP, they'll vote another party. And if it is the APC, so it is. You can look at it, it happened 4 years ago when Obaseki in Edo won the election. Obaseki left APC. Then there was this a lot of would I say animosity towards the ruling party at the center. And so when Obaseki reading the signs, the signal very well to come to PDP.
Yeah.
He won the election. Despite all the odds, despite the godfatherism, despite the fact that Tinubu was against him, despite the fact that Adams Oshimole, the party chairman of APC, was against him, he won the election. Also, if we look at it again, the Oshun election too was a kind of backlash against the ruling APC party, and Adeleke won. Even previously, Adeleke would have won if not for some kind of technicalities. So the uppick election is generally a determinant of what will come in the next 4 years, and it's an interesting game to see how. And also the incumbent party looks at it and then takes stock and then come out.
So we'll strategize.
Strategize.
All right. I'll come to Segun now and looking at this off-season election and from the way you see the election coming, most especially the preparations for this election, if not the polity, what do you think may be responsible for this heightened sense of insecurity in respect of preparations for this election?
All right. All of the parties will want to win, but of course, we know at the end of the day, one party will have to win and take charge of the states. It is quite unfortunate that we are having all of these off what we call it
Off-cycle
elections. In some climes, this should not actually be allowed to happen. But of course, because we have all of these issues that we have in all of these states, insecurity and manipulations and the incompetence, of course, of the electoral umpires in some situations, and the overzealousness of some political parties to want to, at all costs, be in power. That's why we have all of these issues, and we have to transfer all of these issues to the judiciary to eventually determine who is going to take over the helms of affairs in some of these states. So it's quite unfortunate and sadly too that some of these issues that we're raising here, that we're talking about here, that even the INEC itself, who is in charge of the elections, have spoken glowing about and said, oh, we're ready for this, we're prepared for this, security agents are working with us, we're going to do X, Y, Z. And we discover that some of these issues will still come back and we raise their heads again and will become another issue for us. But it's important that the electorate understand that what we're trying to do is get the head, not the tail. And it is very important also for them to also realize that all of this is the accumulation of all of this is to eventually move themselves forward and of course move the state forward and by and large move the country forward. Sadly, some of these issues are still with us, either we like it or not. The issue of insecurity are still there, and if you've read some of the reports from INEC, they've spoken about Imo State and Kogi State as being one of the states that will give them so much difficulty. And of course, whoever is in power, I don't want to go to that angle, but of course, whoever is in power will want to do everything because it's an election that is happening exclusively from it's exclusive from the general election. So they will concentrate all of their powers and all of the resources there. The focus will be on those states and see how they can win power. But then, what are we looking at? I don't think anybody who wants to aspire to lead should struggle to lead. People should be able to elect who they want themselves to lead them. All of these ugly problems will still be there, but we hope that at the end of the day, we'll be able to choose people that would lead the states and lead them to greener pastures.
All right, thank you so very much, Segun. Now, Gabriel Okotie represents an industry where we have a large population of youths aspiring to be in the movie industry, of course, a subset of the entertainment industry. Now, with your industry engaging and employing so many youths and also doing that, these young persons most of the time are the active agents in every election cycle, most especially when it comes to meeting out violence, electoral, what's it called, rigging and all of that. Why is it that those in power easily find it easy to use some of these youths? And what do you think would be the role of leaders like in the industry in reducing all of these malpractices and violence during elections?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ehis. Now, to be very realistic, the creative industry I used to tell some people who care to listen. I have spoken in so many fora, the government and so on. I have said in the past that we in the industry, we are the one that decongest the streets for so many anomalies, rascals. What we do is to empower them and bring them off the streets. And most governments have neglected such priorities. Now, if you look at it internationally, go to London and so many places, you will see a large billboard having so many of our celebrities. They are being celebrated out there, and here in this country, they are looking at no any incentives, nothing for the creative industry. But I tell you one thing, to be very straight, the creative people in the creative industry, they only want an enabling environment which they can strive. They don't participate in all these crises and so on that has to do with electoral vandalism and so on and so forth. Well, honestly, Mr. Ehis, before I come to the question, when it comes to off-cycle elections, I don't see a reason why it should even happen in the first place. I look at, they say, when they say if the foundation is wrong, then you have a problem with the building. The political empire deliberately, I would say deliberately, anticipates such a thing. Because if the system is right, then we'll have no need for all this. What brings all this is sometimes some people feel they are being rigged and so on. So they go to the judiciary. And the judiciary does not speed, judgments
On time.
on time.
There's so much.
And at the end of the day, somebody is being sworn in before another person goes to court, and you cannot remove him. So we have a system where all these things are being tidied up before even a governor or any listing has been sworn in. So to be very realistic, I am talking about total recalling of the system, because there's nothing we can do if the system is not being right. The electoral empire are the founder of this problem.
Okay.
So the system must be done right. They gave them all kind of money to be able to conduct election. We have seen election in a lot of countries internationally, even where we borrow the democracy from. So what we do, we give them money to do these elections and so on. They have all the finance to buy the best gadgets to conduct elections and so on and so forth, while we having obstacle elections.
Wow. I'll now come to Kayode Onimo. I love to hear his angle because, one, he's a man on the street. He feels the beat, the pulse. I can say he is close to the high and the mighty. He's like a bridge between the high and the mighty. He can tell you the pulse of the people on the street. What is the story on the streets in respect of this election?
Thank you, Mr. Ehis Agbon. Actually, this election will be, as I assume, and always predict, as usual, is that this election, actually, as you see it, is an off-cycle election. We're not supposed to have off-cycle election, but we have talked a lot about the reason that we have off-cycle. And it's good for our country. Again, when you look at it, it's very good. You understand? Because by the time we have election at the same time, you understand? It boils down to the security. When you are talking of security aspects, you understand? We have some issue with the security when we are having general election. The whole state is happening the election at the same time. But when you split like this off-cycles election, I think we supposed not to have security issue. Like now, we want to have like a Imo,
Bayelsa, and
Kogi. No, now 3 states, we're supposed to have enough security, you understand, to mind the whole election. But in Nigeria, many things are wrong, and my friend Okotie have said it, that the issue, the electoral
foundation, yes, from INEC.
From INEC is not anything to speak about. Let's talk reality, I call a spade a spade. You understand? If the INEC want us to have a good, free, and fair election in this country, they can do it.
They know what to do.
They know what to do. They don't know what to do. But actually, they will promise heaven and hell that this election will be free and fair. But on that day of the election, you see a very different kind of result.
Yeah.
So what we are saying is that in Kogi State or in Bayelsa or in the Imo State, it's not supposed to be a difficult thing, you understand? Because now we know the candidate know themselves, the party, and we also know that in this kind of election, actually, let's call a spade a spade, the party, the prominent party in power, like APC and PDP, they used to have upper hand. You understand, in an election like this, because both of them, they have the backer from the government. The PDP governor, when you are seeing them campaigning, you see the PDP governor, they belong to that state, APC governor, they belong to that state. But the other parties, all these small parties, they do not have any other people to, and our system is whoever that have power and the security and
Okay.
money, take it.
All right. Thank you so very much. We have seen how it can be nationally. Now, like I said today, let us zero in on Kogi State and do some analysis on Kogi State based on what we have. Now, I'll just quickly run through what the list have here. We have the party A, with the governor Gabriel Usman Oyibe and the deputy Olamife Raphael. And we have AA, the governorship candidate Ibrahim Olayinka Adenehon and the deputy Tijani Yahya Imam. And the AAC, we have Achimugu Augustine Abu as the governor and deputy Bamidele Oladimeji Victor, with ADC governorship as Abejide Joseph Omeide Idris, and ADP Elupo Julius as governor, Adava Abdullahi as deputy, and of course the APC, we have Ahmed Usman Ododo as governor and Salifu Joel as deputy, and Abga, we have Olina Idoko Kingsley as governorship candidate of the Abga, and Nweke Benjamin Ikechukwu as deputy. And APM, we have the governor as Issa Dauda Utenwojo as governor, and Ologe John Kola as deputy, while we have the APP governorship candidate as Onoja Sunday Frank, and deputy as Kekere Rahanatu. And BP political party, we have Mohammed Kabir Umar as governorship and Eleojo Victoria as deputy. And Labour Party, we have Okeme Adejo as governor and Hamza Mohammed as deputy. While NNPP, we have Musa Saliu Mubarak as governor and Oni Felix Sunday as deputy. And NRM, we have Diri Subala as Abdugafar as governor and Onoja NS Enemona as deputy. PDP, we have Melaye Daniel Dino as governor and Mohammed Dean Habib as deputy. And PRP, we have Dr. Abdullahi Bayawo as governor and the deputy Sunday Dennis Ozomata, while SDP governorship candidate in Kogi State is Yakubu Murtala, and the deputies Abenemi Sam Ranti. And YPP, we have Omale Samson Agada as governor and Suleiman Mohammed Siaka as deputy. And last but not the least, ZLP, we have the governorship candidate as Suleiman Taye Fatima as governor and the deputy as Omolowo Matthew. Yes, these are the 18 candidates, but I can tell you that it's going to be majorly a three-man horse race. Yeah. It's going to be between Ododo of the APC, Muri of the SDP, and Melaye of the PDP. Well, I want to know what you guys think.
Yes, well, like you said, it's a three-horse race. Anything called that, let's you will have your time. It's a three-horse race. Yeah. Onibiyo is from himself.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to get some very good.
If you look at the trajectory, the Kogi state. It is a state in turmoil, a state that has been traumatized by what I call the three tyrannies: the tyranny of the majority, and the tyranny of the incumbent. Are you getting it? And the tyranny of the oppressed. Now, the fact is this: you have the Igalas that constitute almost 60% of the population, and they felt they are entitled to ruling the state.
Okay.
And they have been ruling for the past 16, 17 years, even right from the creation of Kogi. And unfortunately, they lost out due to the death of Prince Audu Abubakar.
Yeah.
And since then, Kogi has not really had it well. Now, when
The Galas have not really had it well.
the fact is that the other young man there was not as conciliatory as he's supposed to be. The governor, the incumbent governor.
Okay, yeah,
Was, yes, a very young man and very brash and militant. He crushes his opponent the way he wants. And then, well, that apart, he felt that this is the right time for him to come on board, and he was supported initially. Then along the line, after the second term, a little bit of deviation. It's either he was supposed to hand over to his deputy, that is
Onoja Edward.
Onoja Edward, and along the line, he did something very, very remarkable. He brought another Ibiraman. He is an Ibiraman. I didn't get it. He brought another Ibiraman to replace him as the governorship candidate of APC, knowing fully well that any person that becomes the APC governorship candidate stands almost 45 to 50% becoming the governor. Of course, the PDP felt that, look, this is the opportunity for us to cash in and win. We have been riding high. They have Dino Melaye, a seasoned politician, a man that has also defeated Yahya Bello some years ago when Yahya Bello tried to recall him as a senator. He was in the prison. He fought hard and made sure that he survived that recalling. Unfortunately, he lost out. The PDP is rallying around him. He has an Igala deputy. Also, Ododo is a candidate of PDP. I mean, APC has Igala man. Then the Igalas too, who are feeling shortchanged, felt that this is what they call the Igala. They have a language for it. I've forgotten the name. The Igala project, and that is why you can see the other one from SDP, the young man from Muri Ajaka, Muri Yakubu Ajaka, an Igala man, also a very young man. He broke out from the PDP, from the APC, and then came to the SDP. Incidentally, all of them are under 50. Most of the governorship candidates, they're under 50. The fact is, the Okun Yorubas are feeling that this is my time. The Igalas are feeling we have to reclaim our right. And the Abelo is saying that no, at least the Igalas have succeeded. But my own gaze is this: whoever the presidency turns out to support may have the opportunity.
Let's hold your thoughts there. We'll come to Gabriel Okotie.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ehis. I am totally against when you shun professionalism or competence for mediocrity. Now, I don't believe in tribe. This person is a Gala.
Okay.
This one
you don't believe in tribal politics?
I don't at all. Let us have a credible candidate. See, we'll continue to go back in this country. We'll begin to put religion, tribe, and so on into candidacy. Who becomes who in a state? We'll have problems. We will never have a way forward, because whoever gets in there would want to favor his own people. Why over? Nigeria has gotten to a stage now where we look at a candidate, no matter where he emerges from, either he's Ibira, Kotokefe, or whatever. If he's good enough to go, no matter the party where he belongs, and then we can have such a person. But like what my other senior colleague has said here, that Ododo has a greater chance, because we have seen it played in so many ways, in so many places and so many states, where the presidency has power over who becomes a governor. And look at what is playing in Kano already. Now, don't forget that sentiment would come to play. But the fact remains, let's shun all manner of sentiments and so on.
All right, I'll come to Oranda now. And Oranda, look at you say, what's your permutation?
The way I look at the Kogi State election coming on November, actually, I don't agree when you are using the incumbency power or the power from the presidency will override the decision of the electorate in Kogi State. I'm not support of that view. In this way, you can see presidency now, when you are talking of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is not interested in APC must win one state or others. It's not because the work in his hand now is enormous. The Nigeria project that is doing nice enormous. So he will not be keen to supporting
the local
the governors that know this is Biraman, what we call him, Yaya, must put his friend Ododo back to the. No, I don't think so.
No, I don't like the way you said this is Biraman.
No, because now what Yaya want to prove in the Kogi State is that okay, now I've been the governor and it's time for the Birias to own the state. Though we are few in number, we think we are few in number, but we continue ruling you. So I will use all my power within the incumbency to put you there, my friend Ododo. So
his brother or his brother, his cousin.
His cousin, you see, his cousin. But you know, if I want to, okay.
Oranda. Yes, let's hold your thought. We'll still come back to you. I'll come down to Segun Onibiyo. And I deliberately wanted to have him as the last person in this part because one, he is from that state as a state of origin. And don't forget to do that. Even Mr. Gabriel Okotie has one leg in that state too.
Yes, my mother is from that state.
Yes.
Onibiyo happen to be my cousin.
And my wife is from that place.
I'm not. I said, what's your connection?
I have one leg.
Oh,
My sons will be speaking Igala.
and guess what? My wife is from Kogi State.
Did you see that we are all cool guys?
All right. I'll come to check Onibiyo now. What's your impression about all of this and your permutation to in respect of the election that's coming up and how it may possibly swing?
All right. If you're going to look at it from, if you're just going to just throw it to the wind and say this is how it should go, you would say the Galas have had their turn, the Impiras have their turn. It is the turn of the Ogus.
Yeah.
Which is
Fair is fair.
Yes, fair is fair. As long as it's still with
Federal character.
Sure. Yes, federal character. So, but unfortunately, we're in a country where people don't look at all of that, and you don't blame them. Some of these things are not written down or in form of in constitution people to follow. So it is usually by word of mouth, and of course, you know Nigerians. Some of us don't honor word of mouth when you have a gentleman's agreement and say this is what it's going to be. I'm not saying that is what is we have that's attainable in Kogi State, but I'm saying in all fairness, this is what we should have. But this is politics, and in politics, people will tell you, well, let the strongest of them all take it. But what is the strongest of them all bringing to the table? That's the question. If you look at, for me, I would check the pedigree of the three major candidates leading this charge. And of course, somebody who left a political party to join another political party, probably because he didn't get the ticket, is also looking for a chance to serve. What is the popularity of the person? Does it go beyond his constituency? Those are the issues that people should look at. It is alleged, not confirmed, that Ododo is a relation of the president.
Yes, alleged.
Alleged that is his cousin. So if you look at politics in Nigeria generally, it is sad that we have to come to this level where people would look at somebody and the incumbent would appoint the person who will replace him. It shouldn't be like that. And people should have a free will to choose who they're going to choose. The pedigree of Dino Melai is known worldwide, and people know what it stands for, what it represents. And of course, if you check also the people who will be deputizing them, you would realize that it's a kind of game here that is very dicey. People will tell you that Michael De Lunta here said that 45 to 50% of the population of Kogi State is Igala, and then the Wukuns are there, and second largest.
Yeah, the
and
second
of course,
largest.
yeah, the
Ras
are there,
are there, the
Okotos
Okotie,
are
the
there,
Basanges.
Basanges are there, the people who Lokoja, and all of that. So for me, look, Kogi State is more or less like a country itself.
It's an open field.
Yes, an open field. So you have different people. So whose interest are you going to protect? Whose interest are you not going to protect? If you look widely at that and you look at the deputies, all of this, you see some of those people moving from one part and trying to draw the other parts into this game. But in all of this, what is going to play out in Kogi State will be like everybody here has put down, will still be narrowed down to who the president wants, who INEC will take a side with, because
that is unfortunate.
Yes,
Very
unfortunately.
unfortunate.
Ordinarily, from their name, yes, you would expect INEC to be independent, and of course not interfere and dictate who's going to. It's actually a shame that we are having this election at all, because in the first place it shows that INEC didn't do its job well. In a situation where you have to choose somebody and the court would have to decide who the person is supposed to be there should be, it's a shame. It shows clearly that we're not prepared and we're not honest and we're not decent. But of course, they will tell you democracy is growing. But what we have now, whether we like it or not, religion will play a part. A tribe will play a part. Money will play a part. And of course, you can't rule out the issue of talk. The governor of Kogi State prides himself as somebody who does things He believes you saw what happened during the election. We saw what he did. And and all. So it's quite unfortunate that this is playing out. In all of this, the people are the ones who will suffer. Because if I go out with my family and I convince people to vote for a certain candidate and we go out and we thumbprint, and INEC decides that because they are taking money, they decide to shift our vote and give it to somebody else, it doesn't represent my interest.
No, I think you should retract that.
Okay.
I didn't take money from anybody.
Yeah, please.
Please you retract that.
Okay, well,
It's alleged.
No, we probably because of where we are. I would not say it is alleged because I have been a victim, and I know what I'm talking about. Let me slide. In a situation where money plays a vital role in who becomes who in this country, then it becomes a big problem. If we were able to remove all of this ethnicity, religion, money, and influence, and of course, you can't also throw away the fact, like we said, somebody's interest in all of this. Somebody somewhere will see it. I don't have any interest in this state, for instance, but I want my person to be there. Then it becomes a very big problem.
All right, we open up the phone lines now. 0809 799 1989. That's, let me take it slowly now. 0809 799 1989 and 0809 4646 206 are the numbers to dial. Of course, like I said, our social media handles are open. You can go there and also check out what's happening. We expect our first call to come in now. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero. Good evening, you are welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Good evening.
All right, Mr. Kure, quickly, let's have your take. Thank you.
Doing here after collecting a huge money from the federal government that is going to conduct a credible election, but the revised is the case. I would have suggested the lawmaker to make a law. Anybody that will, any election that has been conducted, let them finish all the tribunal cases before they swear in that person, which will go a long way. An issue of godfathering, it will fix. Anybody that if they Kogi or wherever that they got it right, I think they will report that. But the issue of open elections, I don't think that thing will come again. But I think we'll judge them by this administration, whether they are getting it right or not.
All right.
Most of the people are not smiling now. Let the common man pray. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kure, for stopping by this evening. As we pick our next call. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Mr. Iba. Good evening to all your friends in studio.
Good evening, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
Engineer Emmanuel.
All right, Engineer Emmanuel.
Okay, let me begin with say I'm just so disappointed with Yaya Bello style of leadership because even when the not too young to not be was fine. I was thinking as a young governor, he will give the people of Kogi State real dividends from the work. It's unfortunate he could not do that. That is really unfortunate. But I pray that the Kogi people will do the right thing.
All right. Engineer Emmanuel. Hello, Engineer Emmanuel, thank you. 009 7991989. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero. Hello, good evening. Good evening, you're welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Yes, please. All right, Ibrahim. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Time up. Thank you so very much. We'll take our last caller now before we wrap up. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero. Hello, you are welcome. Hello, Francis, you're welcome. Good evening. All right, let's quickly have your take.
The election was going to happen in 3 states of Nigeria, Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa.
Yeah.
The Nigerian Commission should implement them so that whenever they do general election of governors,
Okay.
to win, the tribunal should be completed before swearing everybody in.
Okay.
And I'm suggesting that the commission should say that whenever they swear you in, whether you complete it or not, if they are very popular in the state, they should not be required. The person should continue, or whoever enters should complete whatever the person says. If it is 2 years, 3 years, so that the election, the general in all the states.
All right. All right, Chief. Chief, we have to go because we are running out of time.
Election in Nigeria.
All right, Chief, we are running out of time, so please let us just leave it here. So sorry about that. We need to end the program now by coming back to the studio quickly.
The election should not be deferred. This will prevent conflict.
Yes, sir.
Chief, we are running out of time.
Thank you so very much, Chief. So sorry about that. We have to go now. And since we do not have much time, everyone will just do their parting shot in 30 seconds each.
Okay.
And I'll start from my far right, Gabriel Okotie.
Yes, my parting shot will be to Kogi State people that if you so much love Kogi, please eschew violence.
Who do you think will win?
They know William.
I'll come to my far left, Kayode Odimo.
Oranda. My party is something good at it. I know actually that Dino will try, but this Yaya Bello, you understand, we use everything, but if it is money to money, you understand.
Who do you think will win?
That election will be rigged for.
Who do you think will win?
Will be rigged for Ludo.
Who do you think will win? I don't want to have any attachment. Give me a name.
Ododo.
Okay, I come to Michael Deolonta.
My own is this. The government, I'm talking to the federal government, please try and play an impartial role in it. INEC, within your image. And then I'll talk to Kogites, irrespective of the tribe, irrespective of the religion, go for the best. Now, if you ask me who will win,
Yes, I will.
I will tell you the choices, if the elections are free and fair, is between Dino Menai and Muri Ajaka.
So who will?
Well, as a journalist, I won't.
I'll come to Segun Onibiyo now. Your parting shot.
Well, let us hope that all of the parties that will be involved in this election will do their jobs. And of course, remember that there's always tomorrow. Let us do our jobs as patriotic Nigerians because we're looking for to move the country forward. And of course, moving the country forward starts from the family to the local government level and all that to the states and the country as a whole. So I pray that they get it right in this election. And I pray that at the end of the day, it will be the very best that we've ever had.
So who would win?
Give me the best man.
You see the come, you know, you are a movie producer, he's a man on the street, but it's not a big journalist. They just want to be neutral. And I also stand on the path of neutrality. Even Ground Zero that you've been listening to, if you want to watch this program, even after we let the studio, go to at Procyon, what's that again? At ProcyonRTV, sorry, at ProcyonRTV on YouTube, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Thread, and what else? All right, Twitter, yeah. So ProcyonRTV is the handle. But meanwhile, you can download the Procyon Radio and TV app from the Google Play Store so that you can listen to us all of the time, watch us all of the time, and read great news on ProcyonNews.com. I want to sincerely appreciate Gabriel. Okotie is a movie producer and one person that I would say they are the movers and shakers in the Nigerian movie industry. Thank you so much, very much, Gabriel. So, Kayode Odimo Oranda, one gentleman too that is the man on the street. If it's happening, you will definitely get it from him. Kayode Odimo Oranda, thank you so very much. Like you had, Oranda, put it in English perspective. He is all-rounder.
Jack of all trades, master of all.
And coming to Mike Odeh Akatu, he is a media analyst and a journalist and reports for Truth Nigeria. Also, Mike Odeh Akatu, thank you so very much.
Thanks.
He's a regular on Ground Zero. And the last but not the least is Segun Onibiyo. He is a broadcaster and, of course, a media strategist. Segun Onibiyo, thank you so very much for having time to be on the program this evening.
It's a pleasure.
My name is Ehis on behalf of the production team, starting from Michael Praise, Wisdom Agulana, and Invicta FM, Humphrey Iluore, here in the Procyon Media Center, Efose and Osehise. And of course, not forgetting Sarah Agbon, the production team lead. I want to thank you all, and of course, appreciate the management and staff of Invicta FM. And to everybody that called in, I love you. And like always, I'll tell you to keep shining like the star that you are. We'll meet next Tuesday for a fresh edition of the program Ground Zero right here on Procyon Radio and Television. And keep following us on all social media handles. And what you do, go to any of the portals, type in Procyon RTV, and you'll be there.